crop losses. Beyond these economic repercussions, the pollution has introduced serious health risks, exposing our people to toxic substances that could lead to long-term illnesses. As you are aware, President Hakainde Hichilema declared the last drought a national disaster and an emergency, which declaration is still in force. Resulting from this pollution disaster, a multi-sectoral team was constituted to immediately contain the spread of the pollution. The spillage of tailings into the river systems resulted, as I said, into very low pH and high content of heavy metals, rendering a continuous consumption of the water dangerous. To put this in perspective, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, pH levels in the Mwambashi stream dropped to an alarming 1.9 on the pH scale, far below the acceptable range of 6.5 to 8, indicating extreme acidity that posed an immediate threat to both human and environmental health. Consequently, it was decided to immediately shut down the Bulangililo and Kana East water treatment plants to protect from consuming contaminated water. Closure of these plants resulted into interruption of water supply to the entire city of Quito. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, government's efforts in tackling the crisis focused on tracking and lowering pH levels, total dissolved solids, and heavy metal concentrations to assess the extent of the contamination. Emergency interventions, including the application of hydrated lime and the deployment of water bowsers, have led to notable improvements. While water quality in open water bodies has now reached acceptable standards, manganese and iron concentrations remain above permissible limits, necessitating further action. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, furthermore, the ministry engaged with the Chinese embassy, which has expressed deep regret over this incident. Additionally, a team of experts from China Non-Ferrous Metal Group has been dispatched to conduct further assessments and determine long-term remediation measures. The embassy has also pledged to ensure that Sinometals continue its cleanup operations, that it supports an independent environmental impact assessment and strengthens compliance with the Zambian environmental laws and standards. Sinometals, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, has acknowledged its responsibility and is actively working with the Zambian government to mitigate the impact. To date, in excess of 15 million kwacha has been invested in immediate response efforts, including lime treatment, alternative water supply, compensation for affected communities, and logistical support from the Zambia Air Force. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this Indaba serves as a crucial platform for us to collectively address the pressing environmental crisis the country is facing. The significance of this gathering cannot be overstated. It is not just about reflecting on the damage that has already occurred, but about taking decisive action to prevent similar catastrophes in the future. We are here today to bring together key stakeholders, including government agencies, mining companies, environmental experts, community representatives, civil society organizations, the clergy, the lawyers, and everybody else to engage in meaningful dialogue and formulate sustainable solutions. This Indaba, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is very important for several reasons, among which are: number one, we need to introduce accountability and transparency. We must ensure that those responsible for environmental damage are held accountable and that transparent mechanisms are put in place to prevent future violations. Strengthening environmental policy. The discussions today will help shape stronger regulatory frameworks that enforce stricter environmental compliance and oversight of industrial operations. Community engagement and support. Affected farm communities need a voice in this process. This Indaba provides an opportunity for them to express their concerns and for us to explore ways to provide fair compensation and sustainable recovery efforts. 4, long-term environmental restoration. Addressing this crisis goes beyond immediate cleanup efforts. We must focus on long-term environmental rehabilitation strategies, ensuring that water sources are safe for future generations. Number 5, promoting sustainable industrial practices. We need to strike a balance between industrial growth and environmental sustainability. This Indaba aims to foster responsible corporate practices that prioritize ecological conservation while supporting economic development. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, given the severity of this crisis, government strongly urges both Sanitation Limited, Nzovu, other mining companies, regulatory bodies to take full responsibility for this pollution. It is imperative that immediate and decisive action be taken to mitigate further harm. Specifically, government demands urgent interventions to protect public health and livelihoods, fair compensation for affected communities, and comprehensive restoration efforts to rehabilitate the damaged environment. Failure to act swiftly and decisively will not only further endanger our ecosystems, but also undermine Zambia's commitment to environmental sustainability and climate resilience. I wish to direct all regulatory bodies to ensure that tailings dams are properly constructed to prevent environmental and public health risks. It is critical that we not only respond to this crisis, but also implement preventive measures to ensure that such disasters never happen again. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, whilst the immediate crisis appears to be under control, we cannot afford complacency. This incident underscores the urgent need for stricter environmental oversight, stronger enforcement of pollution regulations, and greater corporate accountability. The devastating impacts on water quality, food security, and public health highlight the critical need for industries operating in Zambia to prioritize environmental safety. Going forward, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, continuous monitoring and strict enforcement measures will be maintained to safeguard public health and protect our environment. We will also explore policy reforms to ensure industries uphold the highest environmental standards, preventing similar disasters in the future. This is not just about responding to a crisis. It is about building a sustainable and environmentally responsible future for our nation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, government will immediately constitute a team of experts to supervise ongoing remedial works to clean the environment. The team will be tasked with carrying out an audit of all mines, in particular tailings dams and leach pads, to determine their structural integrity and continuous usage. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on this call, we are very, very serious. We also want to thank the people of Kitwe, the people of the Copper Belt, for their resilience. The people of the Copper Belt for accepting to shut that water treatment down and suffered for a few days. It was for the good of all of us. The measures we put in place right now to control the quality of the water our people are taking are very, very good. As I said before, and I'm saying it today again, because we were testing the water yesterday, the quality of water we are supplying from Kana Water Supply and Sanitation is of very, very good quality. We're ensuring that the pH levels are acceptable. We are ensuring that the heavy metals are being removed. This we will continue doing. The well-being of our communities and the integrity of our natural resources must remain our top priority. As we work towards a cleaner, safer, and more sustainable Zambia, we call upon all stakeholders, industry, communities to come together in protecting our water resources for generations to come. It is therefore the expectation from this government that from this meeting we shall be able to mobilize resources for future water quality monitoring of the Kafue River system and assist in scoping the Kafue River, cleaning of the Kafue River. I urge each and every one of you to freely deliberate, to freely share your thoughts and insights and contribute meaningfully to these discussions. Your voices are critical in shaping the solutions we need to safeguard our environment and secure the future of our people. The expectations are very clear, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let's have constructive deliberations. Let's submit precisely, specifically. Let's raise issues so that the Secretariat here taking down notes are able to take these notes. We will constitute an expert team, including several of you in this room, to manage this process. I wish the Indaba success. I wish all of you good health as we deliberate. May God bless all of us. Thank you.